Previously.
So let's get into talking about how to migrate to the UK. How do you actually migrate?
South Carolina,
Miami Bridge, job bridge. Yeah. Vacation reach up. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Altitude way up. Never see bridge a move yet in Jamaica.
Wagwan Dreamers, thanks for checking into the Positivity In, where everything is copacetic because God is in it. If you are new here, welcome by checking in. On this video, you have automatically been given the silver package, but please do upgrade to gold by subscribing to this channel, or all the way up top to platinum by not only subscribing but liking this video, checking in with a comment below, and sharing with your friend. We are your host and hostess, Danielle
And Robdon.
and we are continuing our series on migrating.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So we're gonna continue, as my wife indicated, on migration. All right. And first and foremost, this time we're gonna look at migrated to the USA. All right. There are different ways that persons can migrate to the USA, but the way we are going to talk about is through the J1 Culture Exchange Program. So if you're a teacher, you are eligible to work in the United States for a minimum of 3 years, and if there's an extension, you could do it for
5 years.
For 5 years. All right, that's 2 additional years. But before I go into the process, let me talk to you about some pros and some cons, so you can make up your mind if this is something that you want to undertake. All right, so one, you're going to gain some professional experience, international professional experience. Yeah. And that's like building your resume. So that can literally help you when you return to your country, right? You're applying for some senior management posts or applying for some other educational job. You can prove that you have not only taught in your local country, but you have also taught in another country. You have taught to another ethnic group, perhaps, and of course, people of different backgrounds. That is always going to be a plus, because the teaching, I'm sure that we all understand that teaching children, right? They are unique, and so they bring unique experience, and that's one way to prove that. All right, another one is that you gain an entrance into all 50 states of America. That means even though you're working in one state, you can travel. Do you remember those days in the United States?
Yeah.
Yep.
Some road trips.
Uh-huh.
Louisiana.
South Carolina. Yeah, man.
Boston, Virginia, New York.
Excellent. So you see, once the summer hit, boy, we had to road.
Not just summer, every holiday.
Yeah, Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Even Thanksgiving coming up. Well, you probably see this on Thanksgiving Day or after. But during this period, we'd be on our way. Well, first we'll be checking the map to see where we'd be going and going out, to enjoy the season.
Excellent. And that's it. We just mentioned Thanksgiving. Now, this is one of America's leading celebration time, all right, where the family come together just to give thanks. And so this is what you have access now to their culture. So you're going to learn first on the culture. And you don't know, right after Thanksgiving is going to be Black Friday. Yeah. And Black Friday is where people go shop and use up their money. And of course, you're going to get some great deals, some wonderful items that you've been longing for and planning to buy. Black Friday is going to be the day for you. All right.
Another pro, which not everybody will be able to benefit from this, but the opportunity exists, is that you make connections with other persons, and if you do exceptionally well, there is the possibility that an institution may want to take you on.
and keep you.
Right.
So you're being exposed. When I went to America, I worked with people from the Philippines, I worked with people from Africa, from Guyana, and so you're working with different people, which means you're gaining access to the whole world.
Right. You're building relationships, networking, and all that kind of thing. So that's a major advantage.
Major advantage. And as you rightfully mentioned, if you excel, an institution could decide that they want to sponsor you, become your sponsor, and so they could give you what is called an H1 visa. But we're going to talk about that later on. Another of the benefits to traveling, I would say, only, is the ability to impact lives. That's why we're in teaching anyways, because we want to make people better. All right, we want persons to know that they can excel and that they can do well. So here goes an opportunity to be a part of the change, be a part of impact. All right.
And one of the things too, and that I really admire this, is when you go on these programs, they have a lot of courses. And these courses can be an advantage. They are assets to even your personal development as an educator.
Excellent. My school sponsored me to go on a Kagan course, Kagan Cooperative Learning course. And I think I did quite a bit of levels there, which I am now using in the UK. So this is something that you're going to get. Another thing on it that I see is that when you work in a public school, it's almost like they pay you to go on these courses. You get to pay for the day. And sometimes they do pay for the hours. But don't tell them I tell you. Just bear it in mind. All right?
Yeah.
That might be an advantage. Another advantage is
the whole family.
The family. All right? Let's talk about family. You can bring your family. So that includes your spouse, but this time has to be someone you're legally married to.
Right. And he said this time, because if you didn't catch up on the UK Migrating to UK video, you can check the link in the description below to see if you would want to come to the UK or go to the US.
Excellent. All right, so you have to be legally married and all your children that is under the age of 18, so 18 and below, all right, that will be able to come on here. But if your children are 18 already, don't worry.
They can come as students.
Right. You could apply to an institution and they come on a student visa. But they would not be eligible for a J2 dependent visa. All right. Another number one, leading pro. I feel like contender. Leading pro is an exchange.
Oh, boy.
So,
especially if you have them student loans to pay off.
Yep. If you're working in a country, as in Jamaica, where the currency is about 140 Jamaican dollars to $1 US, give and take, right? Gaining a salary of 2,000 US per fortnight, even after you have paid your bills.
And that must gone up by now.
Exactly. Even if you have paid your bills, all right, you would have been making a significant, gain.
If you're, let's say, if you budget well,
yeah.
Because although it may sound like, 2,000 US fortnightly, remember you have a lot of bills to pay in the US. So if you budget well, you'll be able to convert that currency to pay, some things back home.
Yeah, and in essence, I must point out here that different county will pay you different rates and different state will pay you different rates. So what you can do is to do a Google check and see what the rates are in that particular area. Also, in areas where they might be paying less in terms of money, cost of living is actually lower, so you actually gain more. The idea is that budgeting and managing of cash flow is absolutely necessary. This is not going to come automatic, so you have to make sure that you are doing exactly that if you are going to be successful financially. But in any ways, right, you will be gaining enough that you can make significant impact And honey, yep, in my first year, I smashed my student loan. Bam! Now I had some credit cards and bam! That was an uppercut. That was, oh man. Yep.
But it took sacrifice though.
Yeah, like
So you have to give them the real of the real, because
Well,
you don't want them to think that coming is going to be easy. It takes a mindset and sacrifice.
well, as in everything in life, you have a sacrifice. You have to make sacrifice, but you have the access to. I was able to do it, and what I'm trying to say is that
You can too.
simple because of the rate in currency, right? If you owe $300,000, at $2,000 will cover that money, right? That is something you perhaps not earn in Jamaica in 1 or 2 years. All right, so that's what we're trying to say. Take sacrifice, but the possibility of it happening is greater. All right, so now onto the cons, because like everything in life, if there's pros, then there's going to be cons. All right, so as you would realize, if the children are over the age of 19, they can't come on a J2 visa. You'll have to get them into an institution and have the school sponsor them to come there. All right, what that means is that if they are going to school, they are going to have to pay international fee. And that's going to be way expensive, so you want to check that out before you go. Of course, you can check some low-cost institution before you come in, all right? Also, if you're a teacher and you are planning to study, although you're paying tax and contributing to tax, you still have to pay international fee if you plan to study in one of their institutions. All right, so you want to bear all of this in mind. All right, in some cases they will still require you to do SAT or GD. All right, so you want to make sure you check the requirements and make sure that you can. So those are some of the cons.
One of them I experienced on is that we had to apply for the work permit with USCIS, and it took, some persons have gotten through quickly. It took a while for us.
And I think ours was quick. My wife took about 3-4 months. But there are persons who have waited beyond that to get through. All right, so it could take a while, and so what your dependent cannot work until they have gotten that permit. All right, and I should mention that it becomes a benefit when the person receive, because they can, not only are they contributing to the finances, right, and would raise your income, but also they can work anywhere. So here goes the disadvantage. For the J1 teacher, who is the #1 applicant, you are going to stuck at that same school.
You're going to be stuck.
Can't move. All right. Your sponsor is going to be the agency that get you into the country. They are accountable for you, and of course, the school is your employer. And so it's kind of like a business thing between them. They will not agree for you to move. All right, so bear that in mind. All right, another con I would say, honey, is the fact that you have to try and come up with at least a minimum of $2,000 for you to show that you can take care of yourself at least for the first month. And of course, if you have a family, you have to do that as well. When I was going, honestly, I never had the money. But think of creative ways. Don't know. Persons can give you a gift. Persons may they don't encourage you getting a loan. So once they know it's a loan, they're going to reject it. They also want to be able to see over a period of about 6 months the fees. How did you naturally match it? The reality is that if some of us had $2,000 in Jamaica, we would not decide to migrate. It's because we want a way out while we're actually migrating. So start thinking about those things as you prepare to come. All right. If I could think about another con, all right, it would be the fact that you don't get to go to state of your choice necessary. A lot of persons would want to know, like, if you have family in North Carolina, like in our time only, I knew a lady who was in North Carolina and she was going to allow me to stay at her residence, and that would have offset a lot of our costs. So that's kind of disappointing when I was sent to Florida. Alright, so you won't get that kind of choice, but yeah, you can go and start over.
Another disadvantage, and this is a plus for the UK, so you need to go back and watch that video, is that after the 5 years, you have to go back to your yard. If
3 years, really.
Well, after the 3 years,
you are supposed to go back home, because as it said, it is really a culture exchange program. It is really just exchanging culture. So it's meant for you to bring your culture to America, show them Pitney while you're teaching, and of course you're going to learn from their culture and
to go back to your country to help.
It does what it's supposed to do, but I know most persons want an opportunity to actually stay. Alright, there are ways around that. As I would have said, you can look for schools who are willing to sponsor. You can look at other programs that could take you to other countries. As in our case, we chose to leave the America and we migrated to the UK. Alright, so you want to think about that. You're not going to have access to matriculating directly to citizenship. Also, if you're on a J1 visa and you should decide to get married to an American citizen because you're planning to stay, your J1 visa could cancel immediately, and that's something you want to think about. Alright, so you might want to consult with your attorney before you make a move. Alright, these things are serious and they could impact you. Alright, so make sure you check these things out before you think about migrating to the United States of America. Join us in the next video where we will talk some more about the process, how to get to the United States. I should have also mentioned 2 additional benefits that we should have said earlier in the video. And one, man, how could I even forget this?
I know, right?
But I guess you were leaving the best for last. You pay a lot of taxes, but you get a tax return at the end of the year, and the money can come in handy and nice. Listen, me used to look forward to tax me. Only miss them days. Miss USA. Miss USA. Miss USA. Alright. Also, you could be eligible as a J1 visa depending on the country that you're coming from. You could be eligible for a 2-year tax break. So what it means is that you will not pay a certain tax. And I may also add that if you go to the lovely state of Florida, you will be exempted from state tax. You will pay state tax in all states, but you would exempt that in Florida. All right, so there goes your pros and your cons. If after watching this video you still need more information, which I think you should need more information, you should listen.
It's worth trying.
Right. You will join us back for the next video where we're going to look at how do I go about it, what are the processes, who do I apply to get to the United States. Honey, you have a tune for them?
Not today.
Same tune, man.
Have for yourself.
Same tune.
Stop. Make a click. Hit the subscribe. Yes, you do and book with Noah Kidip. Stay tuned to the O2 clip. Rock with me. What we are gonna say?
Alright, people. Saga come. Alright, remember to subscribe to this video and help our channel to grow. Hit the subscribe. Alright.
And share with others that you know might be, contemplating migrating.
Alright.
Have for yourselves a fantabulous day. Put God in your process and absolutely everything will be copacetic. Peace.